Sepulveda. Today we're going to make a short video about how close we are to the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. And the title of this message is We Will See the Day Getting Closer. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25. We must not quit meeting together as some are doing. No, we need to keep on encouraging each other. This becomes more and more important as you see the day getting closer. So basically, the author of this book is saying that we will see and we can see the day getting closer. So how can we see that the day of the Lord is approaching? There are a few ways we can know, and one of it is studying the end times. And tonight we're gonna study about the mark of the beast. Now, why the mark of the beast? Because this prophecy tells us how close we are to the tribulation period. The tribulation period is the last 7 years of this age, and the 7-year tribulation period is where the Antichrist is given the authority to rule the earth for a brief period of time. Now, I'm not here to discuss whether you are in pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib rapture. But when we study the timing of the mark of the beast, how close we are to the fulfillment of the mark of the beast, you will understand how near we are, how near you are, whether you're pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib rapture. You'll understand how near we are or how close we are to the rapture. Okay, so Revelations 13:15-18 and Revelations 14:9-12. I'm not just gonna read this, okay? Read it for yourself to save time. Now here in the chapters that I have mentioned, we will find 5 characteristics of the mark of the beast, and this we should be watching this. Okay? Now the first 4 characteristics of the mark of the beast. The mark will be placed on the forehead or on the hand, just like what we see in the picture here, and the one. And according to the prophecy, no one can buy or sell without the mark, and the mark will be mandatory to all humans. And those who refuse to take the mark will be killed. Now again, you can go back to Revelations 13 and 14 and read it for yourself, and you will find all these 4, in fact actually 5, that we're gonna discuss first, the first 4. Now, this is the characteristics of the fulfillment of the mark of the beast. Now the question is this technology available today? Okay, now I'm sure you've seen it on Google and the internet about the chip, a very powerful chip that could contain all our data, personal data, and it will be embedded under the skin of our hand. Now this is available right now. This is already the technology is available. No one can buy or sell without the mark. Now last year I saw a video of a man with a embedded chip on his hand, and he made a online money transfer by just a scan on his hand. That was last year, and you can search it. Okay, the technology is now available. Now the mark will be mandatory to all humans. Now, um, after this pandemic, okay, right now we are experiencing a pandemic with the coronavirus. And after this pandemic, I believe um, the world is going to do something to avert world crisis and world economic crisis and economic crisis, because this pandemic is causing a lot of not just deaths but um, economic world crisis. So I think the best solution will be the microchipping. Okay, right here I have an article, okay, from Bill Gates. Okay, Gates Foundation funds new microchip for biological embedding patient. Now, basically, okay, this is a project of Bill Gates, the billionaire. What he will do is, what they will do is, they will put a biochip on the forehead of a person, and this biochip is connected to the 5G signal, and it will send a signal somewhere in a medical headquarters, and all the data of a person will reflect there on their data in their computer. Now, if the person's temperature goes above normal, this will send a signal to a medical headquarters, which could easily apprehend the ill person. Now, this could really control a pandemic. It could avoid pandemics, and if we avoid pandemics, we avoid lockdowns, and when we avoid lockdowns, we avoid an international economic crisis. So this project, it could save a lot of money, it could save a lot of lives. So I think, okay, after this pandemic, after this coronavirus, they would implement a they would make this mandatory to all men. So this could be possible. Number 3 could be possible in the near future. Now the next is, those who refuse to take the mark will be killed. Now, the only people who would refuse to take the mark will be Christians. Now, if you Google right now, much of the spread in Korea, in China, is being blamed by Christian gatherings. And there's also gatherings in America right now, Christian gatherings, that's spreading the virus. So that could spark um, a Christian persecution worldwide. Now, I'm really not yet sure how this would take place, okay? But this is not far-fetched right now. This could really happen in the near future. Now, the next is, this is really very mysterious to me before. Anyone who receives the mark will lose their salvation, or will never have a chance for salvation for those who have not yet received the Lord. Now, I could understand the first 4, but the 5th, this has something to do with spiritual, okay? Now, the big question is, how can we lose our salvation? Or how can somebody get how can somebody lose their salvation if we receive the mark? Now, if you come to think of it, the the biochip and the chipping on the hand, it saves a lot. It's for the good of humanity. Now, frankly speaking, if this is implemented today, okay, with all the good ideas, I don't think I could lose my salvation if this is implemented today. Now, I'm sure will something will I'm sure in the near future something will arise, that when we receive the mark, we could lose our salvation. Now, I don't know how that will go, okay? But let me just share to you about transhumanism. Now, I believe this is the fulfillment of the fifth characteristics of the mark of the beast. The beast. I want you to search Chuck Missler, Tom Horn. Just type on Google Chuck Missler and transhumanism, or Tom Horn and transhumanism. Or if you want to learn more about the transhumanism agenda, you can also type this in Google. And there you will have maybe 30 minutes or an hour of teaching about transhumanism. But let me just show you what I know about the little things I know about transhumanism. Transhumanism is actually the belief or theory that a human race can evolve beyond its current and physical limitations, especially by means of science and technology. Now, if you listen to Tom Horn, he said in one of his videos that transhumanism could also give you the ability to communicate to God. Now the question is, to which God? Is it the true God? Is it the God of the Bible, or some other gods? Again, I just want you to, if you want to learn more about transhumanism, check out Chuck Missler and Tom Horn. Now, look at this in Independent. This is an article from the United Kingdom. How close are we to achieving transhumanism, seen in years and years? Transhumanism is actually a government project decades ago, and as you go deeper into transhumanism, you'll find out that it's all over Hollywood. They're promoting it. And look at this article. They said becoming part cyborg will be possible by 2025. Okay, so interesting. 2025, that's around 5 years from now. And basically transhumanism, they are actually trying to alter the human DNA. How they would do that, I don't have the details, but part of altering the DNA is they can control the attitude, the behavior. Okay, that's one of the transhumanism agenda. Now, if they can manipulate, or if they can alter or control our behavior or our attitude or our decisions, meaning they could also control our beliefs. They could make us believe that the Antichrist is the Lord, and they could make us not to believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, connecting the dots, I think transhumanism is the link to the number 5 characteristics of the mark of the beast. Okay, now this is really interesting. Number 1, number 2, check. Number 3, check. Number 4, check. And I believe number 5 is also check. It's all right here. Now the question is, when are they going to implement this? All these 5 characteristics of the mark of the beast is in place. Now what we're waiting right now is the implementation. They say transhumanism, they're gonna launch it. Okay, it will be possible by 2025. That's 5 years from now. Now, judging the technology with all the things that's going on right now, okay, we are just a few years ahead. Probably after this pandemic, okay, this chip will be mandatory to all humans. Okay, I don't know. We're just a few years ahead. They're just a few years ahead before they could really implement the mark of the beast. And by the way, I did not mention that the mark of the beast is actually a world system that will be implemented by the Antichrist. And when that happens, when the Antichrist appears, okay, we have 7 years of great tribulation, 7 years tribulation period. Now, if you have any questions, you can just comment, okay, below on this post. Thank you so much, and God bless you.